wonderful and super excited this afternoon at our Leadership Unplugged series to have my friend Paul Boomsma, who is the president and CEO of leading real estate companies of the world. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you,
Great to
Peggy.
have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Dare I start with this question? Tell me, is real estate going through a disruption?
Oh, you know what? That's what we live with every day, and there certainly is a lot going on out there.
Yeah.
But I find it quite exciting.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is, most of the companies at leading real estate companies in the world were all independent. Each of those companies was a startup at one point. So they've embraced innovation for years, some of them longer than others, but they really have very open minds and they're always looking at the new things. And when we see what these new technology companies, some of them build themselves that way, or these new brokerage companies, what we find interesting is there's something to take away. If they're appealing to a new segment of the consumer, or just something that we hadn't thought of, we love to embrace new things. And so we're learning things from them, and we're innovating all the time.
Well, it's interesting because, I was talking to a couple of members of yours, and we were talking about just even the narrative in the disruption. So instead of it being a house with 2,000 square feet, it's now about talking about the experience for them.
Correct.
So how has that kind of changed the way you look at anything in your business? Like, are you finding that from an educational platform perspective, along with the technical disruption, you're having to sort of create a new narrative to appeal to this more youthful buyer?
Absolutely. Well, we started that with our luxury program a few years ago, and we've been doing tremendous research now for over a decade on the affluent consumer. Because you have to realize that somebody's buying a multi-million-dollar home, it's a discretionary purchase. They don't need a house.
Yeah.
They're looking for a new lifestyle.
Right.
So we try to find out what is it that they're looking for, what are the things that get them excited, and how are we going to improve their overall lifestyle with the property. And so I think that's something that we learned on that end. We also recently completed a consumer segmentation survey looking at all of the U.S., and trying to understand what is it that consumers really are looking for, how do they want to work with a real estate agent, and what are the things about homes that they get passionate about.
Yeah.
So when you understand what's in someone's head, it really makes it a lot easier to then appeal and become the right agent and deliver the right information, because there's a lot of information out there, but being able to parse it out and make sure that you're giving the consumer what they look for and giving your customer what they want is really the key to a good experience.
You got information and disinformation, right?
Exactly.
So, and we talked about the disruption that you experienced, when you're sort of rebuilt yourself or repositioned the luxury portfolio. Talk to me about the stitching between the disruption you see back to mobility.
Well, it's interesting. There are a lot of the companies that are coming out are either very consumer-centric or they're very agent-centric. But I think the traditional broker has always been very knowledgeable on what it takes to work with a transferee.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more of a managed process that has to occur for both the corporation, but also for a transferee. That there's certain things you just have to check the box on and make sure that everything's getting done. And I guess my question is, with the agent-centric model or with a technology-centric model, I'm not sure that they're really focusing on that piece of it. So I'm still very optimistic, and I still feel really good that what we're able to do with our brokers is deliver a really good process. And that's probably true. Our broker-to-broker business, our closing ratio is over 56% right now.
Wow.
So we understand it's about matching the right customer with the right agent.
Yeah.
And making sure that, because again, it's so much about a personality fit. I've said sometimes, we're like the Match.com of real estate. We make sure it's the right person with the right agent, and then you end up with a great experience.
In between it, yeah. So let me, close on, I know you Chicagoans, you're famous for a lot of things, like you turn the river green on St. Patrick's Day. Okay.
Vivid green.
Vivid green, all right. Halloween.
Yes.
What's a tradition in Chicago? What's a disruption I should watch for on the news?
I don't know if we have any disruptions. I would say that the one thing I love about Chicago is we do trick-or-treating by elevator, because a lot of us that live in high-rises, we can't have pumpkins with candles burning. But you can put you can hang something on your door. It can either say boo or something, and that way the kids in the high-rises, you can go door to door.
Yeah.
And you can give out your candy that way.
And they're protected from the weather should you have a windstorm.
Correct.
The best of all worlds.
Exactly.
They don't have to worry about weather disruption.
So they just, their parents they just go up one floor, the next floor, the next floor.
You know what? That's what they call Candy Hall.
Yes.
That's getting in the mother
absolutely.
load. Yeah.
It's absolutely.
Hey, Paul, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's a great
Good
show,
luck.
and
yeah.
thanks for having us.
You bet. Thank you.
Terrific.